You are watching No Filter with Debbie. These are my views and opinions. Welcome to No Filter with Debbie. I'm Debbie Schlussel, and you know what's driving me crazy? Everything that's going on in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, and everywhere nearby, including in Minneapolis, Stan, where the Derek Chauvin trial continues to go on, despite the pleas of the defense to the judge that this has to stop. And we will talk about that in a little bit and how this is affecting the trial. In my opinion, quite a bit. So, as you know, there was, if you've been following the news, there was a guy named Dante Wright. He was 20 years old. He was stopped by the police. And he wasn't stopped contrary to what they said on The View. If you believe The View, that's your source of news. It's an IQ test, America. It's an IQ test, North Dakota. And you failed. You believe the news on there, you ain't got not much up there. All right? So it's not because of air fresheners. Nobody stopped him because of air fresheners. But if you Google it, don't make Google your sole source of knowledge either. There will be a million articles saying, yes, you can be stopped regarding air fresheners. But why are those relevant? He was not stopped for that. Dante Wright was stopped by police in Brooklyn Center because he had expired plates. Is that racist? No. I've been stopped for expired plates years ago because I forgot and I didn't get the notice in the mail. Yeah, I know. That's what they all tell the police. But I was stopped. I'm Lily White. Was that racist? No. That is the law. And they know that that is a likely indicator that the person might have done other things wrong. If they have no respect for the law, they haven't renewed their license plates, and just because you haven't renewed them doesn't mean you have no respect for the law. Might mean, as in my case, I forgot. Maybe Dante Wright forgot. I don't know. But the police have a right to stop you for that. That is probable cause. In any state in the union, that is probable cause. They did not stop him for the air fresheners. Yes, they could have, but that is not the reason. Everybody's citing that. It isn't the reason. And then when they ran his name and his ID, guess what? Arrest warrants came up for him. He had arrest warrants. And one of the things that he had an arrest warrant for involved a weapon, apparently a gun. Did you hear that on The View? Did you hear that on any of your liberal news media? Well, I did see it in one place. And if even the liberal news media is reporting it in at least one place, I would say it's probably true. And that is the license plate issue. I think we have the headline from NBC News. All right, so you see that. Dante Wright was stopped for expired plates from NBC News, but driving while black may have been his crime. No. The second part of that headline is baloney. And then they claimed wait, let's go back to the headline. Let's go back to that. Show that again, please, if you still have it. All right. The police confrontation escalated after officers saw what could have been an air freshener hanging illegally from the rearview mirror. Well, that's not really how it escalated. It escalated because he had warrants. And the reason he had warrants is because he was not a law abiding citizen. Now, did he deserve to be killed? No. Do you think the officer, who is a woman and who has now resigned, Kim Potter, do you think that she did this on purpose? Do you think she said, oh, I think I'm going to kill a black 20-year-old, have my name and face smeared all over the world, have mobs coming after me, which is, by the way, the reason that the Brooklyn Center police did not want to release her name. Do you think you want for the rest of your life to have mobs coming after you? Do you think any police officer signs up for that job to have that happen? Heck no. No way. All right, so we saw the videos. You've seen the reports. She said, and if you've watched the video, and we didn't show it here, we can probably show it tomorrow if we still think it's appropriate. But what happened was when they dug up warrants for this guy's arrest, and he's not a kid, he's 20 years old. When they found warrants for Dante Wright's arrest, they found, or when they looked him up and they found those, he did not want to stop all of a sudden. He knew he was wanted and he drove off. And so he was started to drive off. He would not get out of the car. And so Officer Potter, tased him, or what she thought was going to be tasing him. And you can hear her on the video saying, taser, taser, taser. And then she pulls the wrong one and she says, oh, bleep. So she did not do that on purpose. Who would do that on purpose so they could end up like Derek Chauvin, fighting for his freedom for the rest of his life, so that an innocent person's life is taken? Listen, this guy does have warrants out for his arrest. There are weapons issues, but is he a hardened criminal? I don't know. He might be, but it doesn't seem by the stories that he is. This is just a tragedy, and I feel for his family. His life was taken, but I don't think it was taken, number one, on purpose, or number two, because he's a young black man, which, by the way, he is half white. You've probably seen his mother in much of the media reports. His mother is white. So all these people that say this is because he's black, how do you know it was because of the black half and not the white half? How do you know race was even a part of this? Apparently it was not. It was his background that he had warrants. They looked him up. And you know what? If you listen to the police, if they tell you to stop and you don't take off when they find that you have warrants, you don't have these kinds of issues. He would have been alive today. I'm not saying he deserved to die. He did not. But he made a judgment call. We all make these calls. Most of the time, they don't affect us. Humans, while we are vulnerable creatures, we are also resilient creatures. We make decisions every day that could kill us. But usually, we bounce back. We don't die. Sometimes people do make these decisions that can cost them their lives. In this case, there were two decisions made quickly that cost lives. He decided to drive off and resist arrest, and she didn't decide, but mistakenly pulled her taser or her gun instead of her taser. She didn't mean to do this. All you have to do is watch the video. Now, does that mean that she should get away with taking this guy's life unpunished? No. She probably should be charged with involuntary manslaughter, the lowest degree of it, because there was no intent here. She meant to do her job. But she is going to suffer for the rest of her life regardless. She has now left her job. Both she and the chief of Brooklyn Center, who we'll show you in a little bit, resigned today. You knew she was going to be fired if she didn't resign. And she will have to live with this for the rest of her life. Now, his family will have to live with him gone for the rest of their lives. That's terrible. I feel for them. But again, if he would have listened to the police and just stayed there, he'd be alive today. And unfortunately, we all make decisions like that. Things like this happen. So I want to show you, you've probably been watching, like I said, the media reports on this. I want to show you a couple of pictures of Dante Wright. One that you've seen, the other that you haven't. So look at the picture on the right. The picture on the right is the picture I've seen in many news reports of him with the little baby. He looks like a caring, innocent kid. And then there's the picture on the left of him with the gun. Now, guns are legal, it's true. And a lot of people pose with guns. Does that mean they're a criminal? No. But that is the picture, the one on the right, that they've chosen to show, and not the one on the left. I don't know why he's carrying a gun. Like I said, I'm a strong believer in the Second Amendment. They're legal. I don't know if that was legal. I do know, again, that one of the warrants for him involved a weapon. There is so much more to this story. It is a tragedy for everybody involved. This was not done on purpose, but it is terrible. And I don't blame the parents for being upset and unforgiving. I would be in their shoes. I would be the same way. But this is not about racism. It's about something else. And we will talk more about this. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha. The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness. During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark. Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close. Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars for just $39.99. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. This TV special offer is not available on Amazon. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-619-1091. That's 1-800-619-1091. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So before the break, we were talking about the shooting by Officer Kim Potter of the Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Police Department. It's about 10 miles from Minneapolis, so it's a suburb roughly of Minneapolis, of Dante White and how he died. And he was 20 years old. But the reason he died was, number one, she made a mistake. And number two, he resisted arrest and tried to drive off. If either one of them had not made a mistake, he'd be alive today. But his mistake was stupid. All he had to do was sit there. Her mistake was stupid too, but it was not intentional. His mistake was. Does that mean he deserved it? No. But it also means that we have to look at the situation. He contributed to it. And if you want the police to leave you alone, part of that, if you don't want to die, is listen to them. When I get stopped, I put my hands on the front wheel, on the front steering wheel, on the top through the wheel, on the dashboard, so that they know I'm not a threat. When I'm reaching for something, I ask them, officer, can I reach for my license, or can I reach for this or that? And you listen to what they have to say. You got to be very careful. It doesn't matter what color you are. Did you know, for example, that over 500 white people were shot and killed by police in 2020? Did you know that? A lot more than black people. A lot more than unarmed black people. And these were unarmed white people. Are we having these national discussions, these national lessons, these media reports about those people? No, we're not. because they don't matter because they are not the preferred race. And again, he was half white. Now, a lot has been going on in Minneapolis, Stan, and in Brooklyn Center as a result of what has happened. People have used it as their typical excuse to riot. So, first, I want you to take a look at this video. There is video of then Police Chief Tim Gannon, who resigned today as the police chief of Brooklyn Center. And he is asked, this is as televised by CNN, he is asked by reporters some questions, and he is talking about the riots. And the reporters are telling him he can't call it riots. They're telling him these are supposed to be objective journalists. And instead, they are activists and agenda setters. Check this out.
One final question. What was your decision to issue a dispersal order while they were peacefully protesting in front of the police station? What led to you to issue a dispersal order, and then on the back end of that 10-minute dispersal order, then to issue out CO2 canisters and gas for the crowd?
So,
can you talk to us about that?
Just so everybody's clear, I was front and center at the protest, at the riot. We did not.
Don't do that. There was no riot.
There was. So the officers that were putting themselves in harm's way were being pelted with frozen cans of pop. They were being pelted with concrete blocks. And yes, we had our helmets on and we had other protection gear, but an officer was injured, hit in the head with a brick. That was a Hennepin County deputy. He was transported to the hospital. So we had to make decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we can't allow our officers to be harmed. And I've already answered the question, I believe, about your lighting. I know that's a big deal with you, and I understand that, but I thought I've explained that myself. So I told you it's my decision, and that's why I made that decision.
All right, so those are just some peaceful protesters throwing rocks, concrete blocks, and bricks at the heads of police officers. Those things can be fatal for anyone, for you, for me, for police, even if they're wearing helmets, and not all of them are. So this is what's going on, and he's not allowed to call it riots. Are you serious? And you heard those reporters. There was not just one. There were several. They were like in unison saying, don't call it riots. Stop calling it riots. Are you serious? Reporters now get to decide the lexicon of their interview subjects? Since when? Since when is that journalism? It isn't. But they are not journalists. They are activists with an agenda. They are left-wing activists. They are not journalists. They're not objective reporters. That died a long time ago. Say goodbye. Goodbye. That was ridiculous. I don't blame him for quitting because, first of all, he's being blamed for what this officer, Kim Potter, did. Yes, a lot of times when one of your officers does something like that, even though they're not trained to, even though nobody trains people to make a mistake and pull a taser or a gun instead of a taser and kill somebody, sometimes the person at the head has to take the fall. But did he deserve to take the fall over this? I don't think so. And I also don't think that because of his choice of language, which apparently was also factored in, because he called it riots, that he should resign. That's absurd. That's exactly what it is. Would you like police to lie on police reports if you get attacked and say, oh, the person wasn't attacked, somebody else approached them to say hello and shake their hand, when it was actually an attack? No, you wouldn't want that to happen. This is what leads to mayhem and disorder on right now in that area. So there have been riots now for a couple of nights, Sunday night and Monday night, and they are riots. Let's call them what they are. Nobody decides the lexicon on this show. Yes, there are a few words I can't say per the big boss, but other than that, I pretty much have free reign. Nobody's going to tell me not to call riots riots like they did with that police chief. But take a look, and you tell me if you would call this peaceful protesting. We have 3 videos. First, take a look at what's going on in Minneapolis, Stan. peaceful protesters. That's super peaceful. Don't call that riots. All right. Now, we have a couple of looting videos. Take a look at the first one. All right, you saw in the video, it said bleep ACAB. You know what ACAB stands for? It stands for all cops are bastards. Not just one cop is a bastard, a cop is a bastard, some cops are bastards. It's all cops are bastards. That is the attitude of these people. And that is their attitude and has been their attitude since before the George Floyd killing. But that has been stepped up since. That's what ACAB stands for. Now, before we go to the break, we have one other video of the looting that's going on. Take a look at this.
Is he on the phone?
All right, so that's the Dollar Tree. Police were guarding another building, so they looted Dollar Tree, where things are $1. They looted for things worth $1, and they trashed that store. Now, I have mixed feelings about all of this. I believe in law and order. We are supposed to be a nation of law and order, or we will descend into anarchy. And everybody will have to be armed to the hilt in order to survive, if they're lucky. I'm against that. But I note that a lot of the corporations whose stores were attacked by these looters are all the corporations that support Black Lives Matter. So you know what? What goes around comes around. And you know what? Sometimes companies get what they deserve. Unfortunately, they won't get it. They will pass that on in the form of higher prices to guess who? You and me. All right, when we come back, we'll have a little bit more on this and some related incidents. The Virginia incident, you probably saw it with the pepper spray on the military lieutenant. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-270-1219. That's 1-800-270-1219. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
Beck News brings you real people and real news. Every weekday on KNDB, KNDM, and KRDK. Start your evening with the Dr. Duke Show at 4. Take a fresh look at current events with Ladies of Another View at 4:30. Go down the road with Joel at 5:30. Watch No Apologies with Becker at 9. Cap off your night with No Filter with Debbie at 10. Beck News. Real people, real news.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private.
Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So we have been talking about what happened with Dante Wright. I accidentally called him Dante White during the last break. The last segment, it is Dante Wright. My apologies. It's ongoing, the riots, the looting, and now this is going to affect the Derek Chauvin trial. It already has. Why? Because family members of Dante Wright have gone to downtown Minneapolis to where these daily protests that we've shown you on this show are going on. And they have tied the shooting of Dante Wright. I saw his aunt on video today. They have tied this to what is going on with Derek Chauvin. Those are two separate things. But you're a juror, and we have discussed this before on the show. This is absolutely prejudicial. There is no way Derek Chauvin is getting a fair trial when you have jurors that are going through the gauntlet every day, straddling that gauntlet of protesters who are all on one side. They are for guilty. They are for a guilty verdict. They are all Black Lives Matters, Antifa. That's who they are. And the jurors see that every single day. And now they don't just see Derek Chauvin jurors. They see Derek Chauvin protesters. They see, for George Floyd, they see protesters for Dante Wright. And this is heavily covered all over the news. It's highly prejudicial. And as I said earlier, the defense for Derek Chauvin wants a mistrial declared. And I think they're absolutely right. And if you're against that, let's say you think Derek Chauvin's guilty, you should want a mistrial also, because otherwise it's going to be appealed, and this is going to be one of the things that is very good grounds for an appeal. It is very prejudicial to somebody when every day jurors are going through this and they think, going through this, I might get not only George Floyd supporters trying to kill me and mob my house and destroy it, like they want to do, by the way, to Officer Kim Potter. If I were her, I would leave Minnesota. I might even leave the country. She needs to be in witness protection, frankly. Make up her own witness protection, because she is going to be hounded forever. And she's lucky if all that's done to her is she's hounded. But imagine you're a juror. You're walking through this. You see not only George Floyd supporters, but now you see Dante Wright's family and supporters. And you're thinking, if I hold out and it's either a mistrial or I convince other people and there's an acquittal, which I doubt will happen, but let's say, I think his lawyers, Derek Chauvin's lawyers, are shooting for one juror and to have a mistrial. And I think that's a good strategy. I think that's really the only strategy right now that is viable for them, but we haven't seen their case yet. But let's say you're that one juror that might do the right thing and say, gee, the autopsy really shows that Derek Chauvin didn't do this, that this was this guy's drug use and bad heart and other behaviors and other physical conditions with which he was afflicted. You look at these people and you think, if I do that, are they going to find out my name? This will leak out. The jurors' names will leak out. Will other jurors give out my name and attack me? Will they portray me as a racist? Will they come to my block and burn down my house and torture me and my family members, maybe my wife and kids or my husband and kids or my elderly parents that are living with me? Are we all going to have to move to Fiji or somewhere else in the middle of nowhere in the South Pacific? Are we going to have to do that? Are our lives over if I do the right thing? Do you want a juror thinking that who's deciding your fate? Nobody would. Because you know what? That's a losing game. It's a losing game at a trial. So these supporters of Dante Wright, his family members, including his aunt, have gone down there. Not good. So there's that. Now, you've probably seen in connection with this a video that came out this past weekend, but didn't happen this weekend. This actually happened months ago in January or December with a military, I think he's a lieutenant. His name is Nazario. He is black and Hispanic. And you see the video of him, I believe, at a gas station after he finally stopped, after a mile of not listening to the police. They don't tell you that in most of the press coverage of this. And that is part of why he was pepper sprayed. Now, you know what? I support the military. I support anyone who serves. We have a lot of people who serve, but not enough. And we rely on a voluntary military. There is no draft anymore, as you know. So we need these people. And they don't make a lot of money. They do get a lot of perks and benefits that I think are never mentioned, but they give up a lot. And they are at the whim of somebody's orders. And at a whim, they could be sent to an Iraq or an Afghanistan and lose their lives. Or if they don't lose their lives, lose body parts, lose their bodily functions, lose what's up here, lose their minds, have PTSD that will affect them and afflict them for the rest of their lives. So I respect anyone that does that. My dad was drafted during the Vietnam War. He served. I respect anyone that was drafted, or especially the people that volunteer and they enlist. So this officer, this military officer, Lieutenant Nazario, it pains me that he was pepper sprayed, but you're not hearing the whole story. Now, we have a video from a police officer, Zeke, and I want you to take a look at Zeke's analysis. He happens to be black, and I think his analysis of what both parties in this did wrong is very good. Take a look.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Zeke Arkham, the original Cop with Attitude, and I'm just going to discuss that quick video with the lieutenant in Virginia who was pulled over by the cops, because now police brutality is trending on Twitter. Okay, what went wrong? What went wrong was that the cops should not have given conflicting orders. Usually, before you go on patrol, you establish who the communication officer is, and the other guy just kind of stands there looking good during the whole car stop or whatever has to go on. Usually, the better talker of the two is the communication officer. What else went wrong? From what I understand, the lieutenant drove for a mile after he was stopped, after the cops initialed to him that they needed him to pull over to the side of the road. That's not good. That now makes the cops think that something is wrong, and they're going to treat this now as a felony car stop, which is what you saw on the tape or the video. What else went wrong? Once you're pulled over, especially like that, all you do is follow instructions. Now, if the cops say, put your hands outside the window, you put your hands outside the window. If the cops say, exit the vehicle, you reach outside, grab your door handle, and you exit the vehicle that way. Okay, your seatbelt should already be off, but if it's not, you ask, can I take my seatbelt off? I have my seatbelt on. Okay, after that, you do what the cops say. It's not the time to now start asking questions and demanding answers. That's not what you should be doing, especially after driving an hour after the cops put their lights on. That's not good, okay? What went wrong, the cop at the end should not have said, don't report this, because now it makes you seem like you're doing something wrong. So, I mean, there was wrong on both parts, but there was more wrong on the lieutenant's part, who thought that it was now his place to start checking the cops. That's not what you do, especially after driving a mile after the cops put the lights on. That's not good. If he had pulled over immediately, I can guarantee you none of this would have happened. It would not have been escalated. Anyway, Zeke Arkham, Cop with Attitude, I got you 6. Bye.
Zeke Arkham, again, from law enforcement, and he says that the wrongdoing here was more on the Lieutenant Nazario's part than the police. You know what? He knows what he's talking about, and I respect his opinion. We did not get the whole story from the mainstream media. All right, when we come back, we will have some advice on how to avoid police responses like that from Chris Rock, circa many years ago. And you'll see in the video. And we've got some other video of what is going on with the police in New York, and it's really disturbing. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Seniors, are you aware that you could pay less for your car insurance?
Seniors can save money on their car insurance.
You might save a little, you might save a lot.
Maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
You might save 5% a year, maybe 10%, 15%, or even more.
That's a lot of money.
So call right now and find out just how much money you might be able to save.
1-800-699-0761. 1-800-699-0761.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and at Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So, Chris Rock probably would not have the guts to make this video now. He's kind of become a lot more politically correct, but this is a Chris Rock classic. We are only bringing you a portion of it because it gets too long and we're only an hour show, but he gives some advice on how to deal with law enforcement and avoid trouble. Take a look.
Obey the law. Laws were made for a reason. Think of them as hints. You've heard people say, man, I wouldn't do that shit if I was you. Well, here's some of that shit. Carjacking, armed robbery, arson, selling drugs, buying drugs, stabbing, shooting. You know, you probably won't get your kicked if you just use common sense. If you jump a subway turnstile, you might just get off with a warning from the police. But if you jump a turnstile carrying a loaded gun and smoking a joint, then maybe you need We all know what happened to Rodney King. But Rodney wouldn't have got kicked if he had just followed this simple tip. When you see flashing police lights in your mirror, stop immediately. Everybody knows, if the police have to come and get you, they're bringing a kicking with them.
That would have been great advice for Lieutenant Nazario. Again, I salute his service, but driving a mile after the lights go on? Not a good look. Not a good look to police. You heard Zeke Arkham, the black member of law enforcement. Not a good idea. All right, so that's what's going on with that. But check out what is going on in New York. So check out this tweet from a New York City Councilman, Councilman Deitch. So Councilman Deitch, Chaim Deitch, says every moron who says that anti-cop rhetoric isn't impacting their ability to do their job should watch this video. If a civilian was in that car, I'm sure the outrage would be deafening, but it was NYPD officers, so nobody's going to care. Back the blue. By the way, before we watch this video, this is what regularly goes on with Black Lives Matter and Antifa. That's who's in this video harassing the cops, and it's despicable. Take a look.
What's your bag number? What's your bag number? You got a picture of the bag number right here, bro. You got a partner too? Oh, I like that. You got a partner, yeah. That's sexy. I like the fact that you got a partner. You 60 credit. 2354 for this dirty. When we catch them and a dirty allegation, that's a pig. That's a gift for you. Oh, let me see your badge number. Oh, 52. You see those beautiful eyes again? Oh, you got some beautiful eyes, bro. And take you with you. Even the people don't want to see you here. Get the out. Move! You can eat red lights, right? You can eat red lights? Eat this right now. Right, eat this red light right now. Woman beater. You're quick to get home, right? When you're done with your officer right next to you, you're quick to go home and beat your wife. You piece of shit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey, let's go. Use that light, mother.
That happens every single day in New York to the New York Police Department officers. Every single day. Would you look forward to going to work if you had that happen to you every day? People dressed like the Joker with makeup and weird masks, not the COVID mask, putting these plastic pigs on your car, squeaking them, yelling at you that you beat your wife through a megaphone, chasing after you, nobody wants you here, blah, blah, blah. Would you want that every single day when you go to work? Who would want that? That's terrible for morale. Who would want to become a police officer with this kind of stuff going on? And that is the aim of these people. These are from Black Lives Matter and Antifa. They don't want people to become police officers. They want chaos. They want anarchy, and we can't let them succeed. And unfortunately, that is what's happening. Who would want to do that? Who would want that as a career? They see Chauvin, they see Potter, they see not that what they did was right, but they see what is going to happen to them. And then these officers who have done nothing wrong, they're just doing their job, are harassed daily by these creatures. Now, being in Black Lives Matter, apparently, if you're at the top or towards the top, is very, very luxurious and profitable. And apparently, we're all in the wrong profession because this woman that is pictured over my shoulder, Patrice Khan Collars, I think that's how you pronounce her name, her hyphenated last name. She's become rich beyond her wildest dreams. By the way, she's a Marxist. I thought Marxists didn't want to be rich, or they pretend they're not interested in wealth. They're supposed to believe in each according to his needs and so on. Apparently her needs are I need to own 4 mansions because she has 4 homes in very luxurious locations. She just bought a $1.4 million home in Topanga Canyon, California, which, by the way, is 88% white. So apparently she's not really into Black lives when it comes to her own life. In her own life, it's Black Lives Matter far away from me. Black Lives Houses Matter. Something like that. She's apparently now shopping with, I think she's a lesbian, with her partner for yet a 5th home, another home in the Bahamas. Yes, a luxury home in the Caribbean. This is what happens when you head these left-wing movements. It's all about virtue signaling and destroying America, but not your own life. It's all about getting rich off of everybody else. These people are hypocrites, they're frauds, and she's a limousine Marxist. A fake. All right, when we come back, Joe Biden, you will not believe what he is offering people to take care of illegal alien children that are invading our southern border. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? After all, a visit to the dentist can easily cost $2,000 or more. Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call now and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. Activate your card and you can start using it immediately. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures like crowns, dentures, even braces, they're all included with the Carefree Dental Card. Say you go to the dentist today without any card and your bill is, well, ouch. Wait a minute, let's try that again. You go to the dentist today and show your Carefree Dental Card, you save $525. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month, so call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-416-5739 to receive your Carefree Dental Card information kit. 1-800-416-5739. Call now.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
I can't say enough good things about these nano hearing aids.
Real people talking about nano hearing aids.
The hearing quality is great.
Until now, hearing aids used to be too expensive for the average person. Until nano. Call now and you'll get your nano hearing aids for only $297. You'll save $100. When you buy 1 hearing aid, Nano will give you a second hearing aid free. Call right now.
1-800-213-3815.
Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Elmiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Elmiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Elmiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So Joe Biden, I call everything he does Joe Bonics because it's just insane. It makes no sense, and it's just really not very smart. And here's the latest. So we all know there is a crisis at the southern border, regardless of whether he acknowledges that that's what it is or not. The language is not important in this case. We know what it is, no matter how much he tries to cover it up. So he is desperate because, as we told you the other day on this show last week, there are 10,000 kids in facilities designed for 250 children. Remember when they told us that Trump was a bad guy because he put kids in some of these facilities? Those kids were much better cared for at that time. Nobody's cared for these kids. They can't. There aren't the resources. We cannot afford it. And by the way, we are paying almost $800 a day for these hotel rooms where some of the families are. And for these children, we are paying at least $100 a day. By some accounts, $395, so $400 a day for this. I've even heard some figures up to $500 for these facilities that are the cages. They used to call them cages when Trump was president. Now they just call them facilities because, everything Joe Biden does is like the roads are paved with gold and the trees are flowing with cotton candy. So Joe Biden has contacted various federal employees, begging them to take care of these children. And he's offered them 4 months off their jobs and 4 months' pay to take care of these children. Now, this is not me saying it. This is not Beck. This is not conservative media. No. This is the newspaper of record, the New York Times, which has reported this. The New York Times is reporting this. The left-wing newspaper of record, one of the most respected by the left, and used to be by all of America. And let me just read you from this. The desperate plea landed this week in the email inboxes of employees in government agencies like the Department of Homeland Security and NASA, because don't go to the moon, don't go into space, take care of illegal aliens that don't belong here. Will you consider taking a 4-month paid leave from your job to help care for migrant children in government-run shelters packed with new arrivals at the border? The New York Times reported. That's what they're asking them. The request to much of the federal workforce came from the Department of Health and Human Services, which is at the heart of a frantic effort by the Biden administration to keep up with a surge in young people crossing the southwestern border, hoping to reunite with relatives already in the United States, the paper wrote. All right, there's one thing wrong with that. Some of these kids have relatives here. Many of them do not. And we don't even know if these are their relatives, the ones who claim they have relatives. That's a ruse to get to stay in the country, although they're not deporting anybody. So very few people are being deported. We'll show you video about that tomorrow. But the kids that are at all being deported, it's because it's claimed they don't have relatives. Very few of those even are being deported from America. Now, under the Trump administration, they would test these kids' DNA to see if they're really related to the people they claim as family. Joe Biden is not doing that. And why not? Because he has no interest in that. His interest is to dilute America with his types of voters, his party's types of voters, so that Kamala and Joe and their ilk can rule America forever. Hunter Biden as president, it could happen. I know you think it's a joke. It could happen. So that is what's going on. Joe Biden is giving, courtesy of you, the taxpayer, 4 months off to any government worker who will help take care of these illegal alien kids on your dime. Now, are you being offered anything to have your kids taken care of by government nannies? No, you don't get that luxury. You have to pay for your own child care, unless you're in certain branches of government where it's provided to you. Everybody else is on their own. But these illegal alien kids, well, we have new nannies now. Congratulations, America. Congratulations. So there's that. Now, there is other Jobonics instances, happenings going on. By the way, free ice cream for everyone, according to Joe Biden. Free ice cream for all you illegal alien kids. Free ice cream. Free ice cream for all you government workers that want to take care of those kids. All right, now in other Joe Bonics news, Anthony Blinken. Anthony Blinken, our Secretary of State. The one that thinks he's an Instagram model. He posts pictures of him eating various Asian foods. But then, when the Asians come to talk to him, the Chinese in Alaska, they eat him for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Yeah, this Instagram model. He's useless. And now, guess what? He's blaming the Chinese for coronavirus, saying they hid it, they didn't do enough, they didn't tell us about it. You know who said that and got called a racist? Donald Trump, Republicans, White House employees, the administration. But when Anthony Blinken says it, I guess it's okay. He's not anti-Asian. He's not racist. He's not the cause of violence against Asians. But when Donald Trump says it, he's the cause. That's how it works. All right, now in other Joe Bonics news, Joe Biden has a study commission that he has created. He vowed he would do this during the campaign to pack the Supreme Court. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. When you have a study committee and you stack it with liberals, almost everybody on this commission is far left to somewhat liberal. There are maybe like 2 establishment Republican types, no conservatives on this commission. This is being packed. It's been stacked the same way he wants to with the Supreme Court. We know what their conclusion's going to be. Can he get it through the U.S. Senate? Will Joe Manchin step up against it? I don't know. Only time will tell. But I know this. Justice Stephen Breyer is under tremendous pressure to resign because they want to replace him with somebody else. They don't want him to die when maybe there will become a U.S. Senate that's controlled by Republicans in a year and a half. Or maybe a Republican will win in 3.5 years. They don't want that. And Stephen Breyer said it's a horrible decision to pack the Supreme Court. He's not going anywhere. Remember, things aren't always as they seem. See you tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
Hey Bucks fans, if you're planning an outing, birthday, or employee appreciation night, then bring your group out to the Buck Stop for a night of fast-paced, high-scoring football. Your group will receive discounted tickets, options for reserved seating, scoreboard messages, VIP services, swag, and a space to gather during the game. You can also participate in pre-game ceremonies, halftime entertainment, in-game contests, and more. Call 701-595-0771 or visit bismarckbucks.com/tickets. All GA is first come, first serve. We'll see you on the turf. Go Bucks!
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. What happens with national debt? Does anybody even care anymore? Do you think Governor Burgum truly understands the legislative process?
You know, I think he's got a better understanding now than he did 2 years ago.
Why in the world are we having a conversation about being anti-vaccination. Down the Road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Beck Lightband Internet is the fastest internet service in North Dakota, outpacing speeds in the largest cities nationwide. Beck Communications planned and built Lightband Internet to bring you a superior, more valuable customer experience. We connect you to family, business, education, and entertainment without restrictions or speed limits. Beck Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.